taking down their own buildings and the Gulf of Tonkin, which was a lie. But at the point being is that the timing, don't look at the conspiracy, look at the timing, is that we wanted to get into a war that we really couldn't get into because the people didn't support it, and then, wow, something happens where it's so catastrophic that everyone wants to get into it. Now, if you look at it that way, with a logical mind, you go, man, that's a lot of coincidences there. That's a lot of coincidence to where we didn't want to fight, had no reason, the people didn't support it, but then here we go. Because in World War II, they knew the Holocaust was going on 2 years before we did anything. A lot of people don't know that England don't like Americans. We think, oh, they love us over there because we saved them from the Germans. To them, we were 2 years late. We didn't get into the war until it was a benefit to us. And a lot of people don't know that, which I go to in terms of history. This country is not teaching history. And I don't mean, Columbus and this and that. I'm talking, hey, man, where the banks came from, why the Revolutionary War happened. Lincoln didn't just free the slaves because he was a great guy. Just little things like that, which I think, maybe I think would help history in this country. And talking from a black man's point of view, I think if somehow that a historical base for some white people, historical white people, that black people can go, wow, that was a good guy. I think. See, the thing is, what I say about black people and the color of white, it's not that I hate white people or anything. It's that the color is basically what we have. It's a vague. That's all we have. We don't have a villain. We don't have people that we look at and go, okay, Hitler. There was Hitler, and it was 10 other guys. It was Himmler. It was Heydrich. It was Mengele. It was all of those guys, and we can look at them like, okay, those were the architects behind that disaster. But for black people in slavery, all we got really is this vague, which it helps out the New World Order because black people can't really join forces completely heartfelt with white people, because in this country, white people are always presented as our villain. All the color white is like having Hitler's mustache. It is our evil. But we need to come together at the bottom of this pyramid, at this feudal system that they put together. We need to come together and really go, man, it's really us. Even though the guys at the top look like you, but I think if there's any like diabolical plot, that's in there just as much as to keep us separate racially. You know what I mean? It's a really nasty thing, dude. It's so many things that we, the bottom half of this pyramid, the bottom level, the top have to be exposed, but the bottom is we're so entrenched in the hatred basically for each other. Black people don't like Asians, Asians don't like black people don't like white people don't like Indians, Indians don't like Arabs, Arabs don't like black people. Really, they all don't like black people, but if you put it all together, nobody likes nobody who should be joined in fighting the nonsense, so we can all listen to the G20, meetings, and we can all understand that they're trying to put us back into the feudal system. We can all understand the history of this, but we're too busy haggling over chump stuff. Like, we're haggling over a couple of $100, man. I tell people, you know what? If you don't got no money, you shouldn't be worried about the economy. This thing is not, if you got $20,000 in the bank, you know what? Buy that hat you like. Buy those sneakers you like.
We will be back after this. It's the InfoWarrior with Jason Bermas, prisonplan.tv, InfoWars.com. We are back. Patrice O'Neal is our guest. It's myspace.com/Patrice O'Neal. And you were just talking about the divide and conquer or order out of chaos methods of religion and race to divide all of us so that we don't come together. I think that's a main reason that you'll see a lot of this anti-Semitism in the so-called patriot movement. It's to turn other people off. It's the same reason that the government started COINTELPRO against the Black Panther movement, to turn white people off to their plight. These people were trying to do the right thing, and all of a sudden they're getting people are sending out these coloring books to white neighborhoods where all these racist photos are made, and they're killing white people. I mean, some of these are really organized so that we do hate each other and are angry at each other for no reason other than they've contrived a reason. So we don't come together against them. I think we can overcome that, though. When it finally gets bad enough, where enough people have lost their homes, where enough people wake up to the fact that, Barack Obama does not have their best interests at heart, when they start seeing the brigades, and I think September 11th this year is going to be a big day, because in that Give Act, that's their new holiday, literally in the Give Act, is 9/11. It's a national call to service and day in remembrance, and they're actually going to have memorials throughout the country, and they're going to be knocking on doors that day to have people pledge to join their cause.
Right. I mean, ultimately, I think, see, I hate to dismiss, like, I got a buddy that's hanging out, and during the commercial, and I'm talking to him about stuff, and first thing he just goes with beautiful apathy, just I don't care. Like, and then here's the thing where I can't get frustrated. There's so much stuff to care about. That's why I gotta go, well, how do I get this ass to just care what does it mean to him? He goes, it just doesn't concern me.
Listen, say this to him. Ask him.
All I can do is come out and say a million different, you can't, man, they're over there having a meeting with the guy, but blah, 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 and the G20.
This is what I do.
Man,
this is how you say it.
And he's just, I don't care.
You got to say, listen, man, if you don't wake up.
to get somebody to just care, just like if I stole money out of his wallet, he'd go crazy. Yeah. But how do you get people to give a damn with that grassroots level? Like, dude, they're just stealing money out your pocket. How am I going to convince people that this is affecting them and it's not some magical man in a mountain theory? How do you get people to understand that this is going to touch your rib cage, man, in about 10 years, 20 years?
All right, this is how you do it. You got a cell phone, right? You probably got a newer cell phone, right?
Yeah.
All right, so this is what I do. I put videos on cell phones that I know are just going to scare the ever-loving hell out of somebody once I bring up the subject matter. And if it was my buddy, I'd turn to him. I'd be like, look, man, how would you feel if you were going to be microchipped, tracked, and traced by a bunch of occultic kitty rapists? And that's basically, at the bottom level, those are the people that are going to chip you, people that are into the occult and rape little children. I know that sounds crazy, but if you actually do the research, it's the real deal. So then I'll open up my phone, and I will play the 2004 clip of Peter Jennings going over how Mexican security officials chipped 144 guys under their NSA division. And then I'll show him another video clip after 9/11 of the Jacobs family pledging themselves to the United States government, saying that if it helps against terror, we'll all take the chips.
Now, here we go. Now, this is where we work together.
Okay.
When you say that, okay, the Mexican, 140 Mexicans gets chipped, okay?
Yep.
Right then, okay, I'm going to play devil's advocate. Why should I care?
Because that chip is going to come into your body very, very soon, and it's going to be under government regulation, and it's going to be everything to you. I mean, it's going to know where you are at all times. Listen, you can go on eBay right now, spend $10 on a microchip. I'm not kidding. $3 for shipping. Then you can inject it in yourself if you want, and then you can track and trace yourself for $7 a month through a service. Patrice, can I get you to stay over 2 segments till the 20 after, or are you busy?
No, go ahead. It's cool.
All right, sounds good. I'll explain more, and I want to play this Bear AIDS clip, because it's not a conspiracy theory. They gave a bunch of people in this country and others AIDS through Factor 8. We're going to come back with that after this. You talk about how do I reach my friend. Well, first of all, let them understand history. Hitler didn't just kill the Jews. He went after, first of all, the communists first. They were the enemy. Then it was, the retards, the gypsies, the unpleasantries. Then it was the Jews. Then it was anyone who didn't have a job.
Right.
It always starts with the easy target. You know what I mean? And
but let me ask, okay, so would you say unequivocally that the plan for this new group of people, okay, the New World Order, the globalists, is the same? Because I think it would click if you say that their agenda was the same as Hitler's agenda. For some reason, Hitler
wrote
is
a book.
the dude that really bugs people enough to listen.
Explain to him he wrote the book.
Trying to do to everybody what Hitler did during World War II.
Worse, he wrote the book, The New World Order, Patrice. One of his books before he really came to power was called The New World Order, and it was all about taking over the world and having a global governance.
So the more you get educated, the more I get educated on it, the more I read, the more I understand, the more I can, the one thing comfortable that I can say, like this is what I'm saying, I'm not comfortable as you are and people who are deep rooted into the globalist, standing against it. I'm learning. Mm-hmm. But one thing I can say is that eugenics is one of the keys. The idea of the perfect race, and then that opened my eyes up to stem cell research, which ultimately stem cell research is almost a quiet way of going, we're going to make perfect people, and cloning, we're going to make perfect human beings, this perfection, these people who can't be sick and won't be sick and all that stuff. So I can comfortably say, well, eugenics reminds me of something that they did in Nazi Germany, but it's going to take a lot more studying on my part to be able to comfortably go, when I'm talking to somebody, to go, look, man, these dudes are Hitler. They're trying to be like Hitler. And so I have enough mental weaponry. And I think in terms of saying Hitler's name, it's so shocking. Like, I just watched this thing called The End of America. I forgot the woman's name.
Yeah, Naomi Wolf. I just watched it.
Naomi Wolf. 10 steps to the end
fascism.
Fascism.